Hello again, folks. This is Podcast Reborn, and I'm back with another playthrough of the Sonic game. And this time, I'm here with Maverick Hunter 8. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Michigan Maverick Hunter back once again. You guys knew me as Super 8 back in the day, but now it's Maverick.
And we're here with Sonic Superstars. It's another classic game after Mania and Origins. I have not played Origins. It's just the old classic games that we already played, and I'm not really interested in playing that. But Superstars here. Superstars is pretty interesting. It has a whole bunch of things that we've seen in Mania or 3 and Knuckles. We have multiple save files. We have different artwork on the main menu here. This stuff looks nice, especially the screensaver stuff. But yeah, and one of the key features of Superstars is that it has a co-op mode. Which is part of why I have Maverick here, because we're gonna be playing co-op. I'm always gonna be player 1, and Maverick will always be player 2. We don't have enough people for the third and fourth player. But yeah, I'm starting off with Sonic, and he's playing Amy, the newest character. And I don't really care about the story too much. It's not like Mania, so I'm just skipping through the cutscenes.
Well, I gotta say, interesting is a way to describe this game. It is the tale of two games, man. Because single player, it's okay, but the co-op in this game is what really pushes this game to be pretty good. I gotta say.
Yes, definitely. First off, the camera is zoomed out a lot more, so you can see a lot more ahead of it. But how the camera kind of works when it follows players is that sometimes it'll follow one person and other times it'll follow the other character. But we'll talk more about that later. Right now we have a special stage coming up. And I'll let you explain the special stage since you played with another person before playing with me.
So originally in these special stages, it's single. You just have to hold A, jump from balloon to balloon, and get the Chaos Emerald. It's a process. I'll say that much. Right here, you just saw this was the easiest emerald to get. Uh, Again, co-op makes it more interesting because you gotta actually time which balloons you get to with your partner. It's a fun mechanic. I was gonna say, what do you feel about the special stages compared to the previous games?
It's it's alright. Like, it's serviceable. I wouldn't say it's more fun than any of the others. But it's alright. I do think it's interesting how they do multiplayer in that. But it's alright.
But as you just saw right there, the Chaos Emeralds have powers now.
Every Chaos Emerald has a power depending on its color. We have Avatar, which is arguably one of the best power-ups I have. And yeah, it allows you to summon multiple copies. But they don't really. When you summon the copies, they don't really do much to differentiate the copies from the original. So, like, if you're not fully paying attention, you could get confused about which one is which.
And as you just saw right there, if you can see at the top above us, the avatars actually die and can get hit and die, which is kind of crazy for a power-up that is supposed to, clear the screen. And now we go to the best special stage in the game, huh?
So we have the bonus stages here. And kind of like what Mania does, instead of the blue spheres, they're doing the Sonic 1 special stages as the bonus stages. Here, all you gotta do is there are 3 segments in each one of these bonus stages. And all you gotta do is get to the end of each of them by hitting the metal. They will progressively get harder, but as you can see, that thing over there, if you touch that, you instantly lose. Well, one of us can drop in there.
Look at that, he got me killed.
That was, I mean, that was a thing that it was an accident, but one of us just needs to touch it. One of us just needs to touch it, and if one of us falls into one of those things on any of the other ones, and the other character touches the metal, the other character will come back. It's fun. I mean, thankfully, you don't have to go after all of them like a Mania. Because, man, I don't actually like the Sonic 1 special stages.
No one does, apparently. I mean, and that I will say it is actually pretty interesting that they did bring back the one special stages, you know, besides Sonic 4, but that's Sonic 4.
Yeah. And in this boss fight, quote unquote, as you saw, I died, but I can't come back. That's what happens. If you die normally in the stage, in co-op, if you die in the stage, you have to wait a little bit to come back. But if you die in a boss fight, you're not allowed to come back at all until you complete the stage. So we're gonna have to keep that in mind as we move along.
Just like to interject for a second, how do you feel about Bridge Zone as a starting level?
It's basically just Green Hill, but instead of brown is gray. But it's alright. It's a fine first stage.
This game doesn't reuse assets like the previous games. Well, overall, to set the tone of this game and this playthrough, how do you feel as a whole? It's been a few months now. The game's been out. Obviously, I had multiple chances to play it. What do you think about this game?
It's a mixed bag, honestly. It's, like, there's some good things here, there's some missing things here. Real quick, though, if we go back, special stages, or rather Chaos Emeralds, are locked between levels, so we can't get the second Chaos Emerald in the same zone. We have to move on to the next one to get the second. If we try to do that, if we try to go into the special stage again during the same zone, we end up going after medals, 5 medals in the zone, which I think is fine.
I actually don't like that.
Really?
In the previous games, I enjoyed whether it be going through finding multiple checkpoints, or in like 3 Knuckles and Mania, finding all the rings to go through. You were rewarded getting the emeralds faster. I know they had to nerf the emerald. I know they had to nerf getting the emeralds because they have abilities now, but I kind of like the open-endedness of getting the emeralds fast in a Sonic game. You know?
I can see that. Yeah, I see it as they want to be a little bit more story focused. Like, yeah, they want to, since the emeralds have each individual power, they don't want you grabbing all of them right away. Like, I think it's a fine decision, but I can see why some people might do that.
But that also might be because I barely use the shop, so getting the tokens to me getting the medals to me wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. The game gives you multiple ways to get tokens. You can get tokens by just getting 100 rings. You don't get lives. There are no lives in this game. You can go to the Act Fruit stages by collecting the fruits that I just collected, or just doing bonus stages or special stages, whatever. Or battle mode. We will cover battle mode a lot later on in the playthrough. But yeah, you have a lot of ways to get medals, but honestly, it's only just for customization. You don't really need to get medals and stuff. And also, we didn't really talk about the characters. Like, I'm playing a Sonic. He has the drop dash. He does not get any other special abilities. There are no elemental shields for him to take advantage of. And there is no secret mode where he can use the Super Kill or the Insta Shield. He just has the drop dash, which I think is fun.
Oh, Amy, I actually didn't play Origins either, so I don't know if she had these moves in that one.
She did.
Amy, oh, she did?
Yeah.
Amy has a double jump And if you hold the jump button as you land, she can attack with her hammer for a few seconds. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Amy. I'm happy finally get to play as the classic version of her. I'm not doing too much right now.
I got the clones and Amy to do the work for me.
But now, as a segue into this, boss fights are probably the biggest disadvantage of the game.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's multiple invincibility points for this for Eggman that fight, which made it longer than it needed to be for a first level boss fight. But that's just the first level. It gets rougher later.
Yeah. We'll see more about that later. So we'll see you then. And we're moving on to Speed Jungle Zone. We didn't talk about it in the first stage, but the music is really good in some areas.
Oh, here we go again. Yo, this guy.
Like, okay, Bridge Island Zone sounded fine. Speed Jungle Zone, woo, sounds so good. I think all of the acts in Speed Jungle is like some of the best in the entire game.
You know a track I like, and I can't wait to get to it.
No.
You know, my initial playthrough, I thought most of the music was okay, not standard Sonic quality. Oh, also, we didn't mention this, but we are playing the Switch version of the game.
Yes.
Which, FYI, if you do buy the game, there are like long load times. I don't know if that's the same in the other versions, but
I think the PC version has shorter load times, but I can't be sure.
okay.
But yeah, this game, it's a Sonic game, but it really likes to make you wait.
The best type of Sonic game. And speaking of waiting, here's a boss fight that kind of emphasizes that.
At least this one is fine. Like, you can just use Avatar to hit him early. But...
That's every boss in the game.
But yeah, see, I got confused about which clone I was, and I ended up following those spikes. If you get hit while you're using your Emerald power, you lose access to your Emerald power.
Oh, also, Emerald powers, you know, you can only use them once until you hit a checkpoint, and then they refresh.
It was a fine boss.
This is a short level.
Yep. But we're coming up to one of the interesting things this game does, is that this game, it kind of fluctuates with its act count. Some acts will have the regular 2 count. Speed Jungle will have 3. It has 2 acts plus a character act. This is a Sonic act, and these are only single player, so it's just me here.
Yeah, it's a good break for the co-op style, but, you know, oh god.
Yeah, you're gonna see that a lot. This game loves to bring out the insta-kill stuff. This one is fine, just keep moving. But, yeah.
I know we briefly touched on the story, but I can't believe Knack the Weasel, Fang the Sniper is back.
You mean Fang the Hunter?
No!
The Sniper is fine. Sniper is fine.
How would a sniper be able to hit Sonic? He's too fast. A hunter, on the other hand, yeah.
How is a hunter any better than a sniper?
He's a Maverick hunter. There we go.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh wow, I forgot I actually died.
You forgot. I thought we were playing this in real time.
We actually recorded this like a week after the game came out, but we weren't able to do our commentary due to our scheduling plans.
Because we were like, we didn't think of doing it. Because we're lazy. I'm gonna be honest. I really, these encounters like this, I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
Only because they go on for too long.
Yeah. And it certainly doesn't help when the music for Fang is actually kind of trash.
Excuse me?
Like, it's so wild. We came from Mania having a perfect track, in my opinion. So, I don't know what the right words are. I'm not that very articulate, but
a mismatch, a varying quality of music. You know, you have good tracks, and then you have ones that just. It feels like they wanted to emulate the style of the Genesis without actually knowing how to do it. Like it's kind of the same bag for when they did it in Forces when they was trying to do it for classic Sonic in there. Like they're trying to hit that. Oh, this is how it would sound in 16-bit without kind of realizing what made it good back in the day.
right. And
Oh,
I
you
finally
get to play a special stage without me.
I finally found a special stage. And yeah, if usually it plays normally in single player. It's just you going around grabbing the things. And yeah, pretty easy. So now for now. So now we get access to the actual best power in the game. Bullet. Which is technically the burst power from Colors, but okay. So
Oh, you like that game?
no. So Bullet allows you to just dash. Have a complete 360 dash. You can easily get past a lot of things with it. It just makes the game a whole lot easier. In speedruns, all you really need is Avatar and Bullet. There are a few other power-ups that could be helpful, but honestly, Bullet and Avatar just kind of trivialize the whole thing. Unless you do it poorly like I am.
You know, it took him only 2 episodes, the world champion speedrunner here.
I only held the record for like a day or so.
Still world champion. Former world champion. I do like how you bring up colors. I know I was talking to you about it when the game came out. I actually do think that these are, the Emerald power-ups are superior to the Wisp in every way. Because you can actually use them on demand and use them to your liking instead of having to find the capsule and use the Wisp in that certain area. So points to this game for that. Also, these rails are not programmed properly. Stop on a win.
Yeah. Also, there's a new character in this game called Trip. We'll see more of them later.
Cutscenes. Wait, what's the story of this game, though?
Something happens, and we have Eggman's here. He hired Fang. They run into Trip, and we're here to stop Eggman from doing a thing. But see, Eggman was just down there.
If we didn't skip the cutscenes,
Okay, that's another thing. Even if you pay attention to this game, you still don't understand what's going on. Okay, so they require... The thing that recent Sonic games have been doing is that they've been asking you to look at some YouTube videos or some comics that's outside of the game in order to figure out what's going on. How about you just tell me what's going on? I know classic Sonic games aren't big on story, but I feel like this. I feel like some of the stuff should be important. Like, I tried. This is something I tried to bring up in the Frontiers video last year about where did Knuckles come from? Why is he here? You have to look at a YouTube video in order to find that out.
You know, I remember like actually being able to skip everything about Frontiers post-release until I got the game, and I was legit just like, man, Knuckles really is here. Where'd he come from? What's he doing?
And also, yeah, dark level in the second zone. That's a dark level in a Sonic game is already just kind of. I mean, I guess it's fine. I guess it's better that it's early on so that it doesn't come up later. I don't know.
And you just said, forget this. Like, typical Sonic, leaving Amy behind as always, I'll tell you.
You see, sometimes I'm just not even doing it. We're just not even doing action. Like, somebody could have just been hit by an enemy or something, and then I get knocked off screen.
They know who they want to follow, the real star of the playthrough, I'll tell you. Amy in a Sonic game, we gotta...
Although I do want to mention one thing. She doesn't work exactly like she did in Origins. In Origins, her double jump actually doubled as a sort of weaker drop dash for her. Like, she can still swing her hammer while on the ground if you hold down the button when you jump. In Origins, she had a bit of a drop dash, and you could turn while she was still doing the drop dash. She can't do the drop dash here, so I mean, I don't know if that's really better or worse, but I think it's interesting. Here comes one of the worst bosses in the game.
I was gonna say, talking about something that's not interesting. A boss that you can't damage and has slow attacks.
I think it's always going to target player one, at least with those hooks. Or maybe just all of his attacks, I don't remember. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to force him to attack me, and I have to have him hit himself.
What were they thinking with these bosses?
Like,
I know, it's gonna be a common theme of me and probably you complaining about this for this playthrough, but I mean, look at this.
like, I kinda get not making the bosses too easy if there's co-op, but like, you don't have to do it like this. I mean, just straight.
I mean, it's interesting you said, because there's a second mode that isn't co-op, and the bosses are arguably longer in that mode.
Oh no, not arguably, definitely longer. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Finally dead.
But yeah, that's Speed Jungle. The stage was fine, it's just the bosses. But yeah, that's Speed Jungle. So now we're back in Sky Temple, and I think we were doing something more. I cut down the time to pause, but yeah, Sky Temple is, again, it's another interesting case where the act. Yeah, sometimes characters are in the background. We saw Tails in the background earlier, but we didn't in Speed Jungle, but yeah, Bridge Zone has 2 acts. Speed Jungle has 3 acts if you choose to go to as Sonic's act, and this zone only has 1 act. But whenever they do this, the single act is usually a lot bigger. Is usually a lot longer. And
Bye, Knuckles.
We ended up missing that, that's where you're trying to use bullet to get down, and I'm saying, nah, you can't do it. I tried it before, you can't do it.
And you let me get hit.
You jumped into it yourself!
You were right there to stop the turret from shooting at me.
But you still jumped! Alright, whatever.
How about take a bullet for a person, okay? See, I just took a bullet for you right there.
Okay, one thing I do want to talk about, like, the level design is kinda iffy. Like, it's fine early on, I guess, but when we come to stuff like that, where stuff is just off screen or it's in a very hard place for you to reach or get by without getting hurt, like, But
And right there, he just showed you why he was the world champion.
all I did was notice that there's a special stage ring, and I went to it with bullet. But here comes the arguably worst power up. This is the purple one. See, the power up here is vision, and all it does is reveal stuff. It would be a lot more useful if you could, like, use it whenever, and you could reveal hidden paths or whatever, but it's only whenever the game tells you there's a hidden path. It's kinda useless.
Good music, though.
And it's alright.
Look at this guy. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, it's so useless you used it immediately.
Cause there's nothing going on. Like, you can't find anything. You have to wait until the game tells you you can use it. Until it tells you there's a hidden path somewhere. Like, that defeats the point.
It's called seeing things that aren't there. Vision. Vision.
What I also do like about the co-op is that we can... It's not like only one of us can use an emerald power at a time. We can both use emerald powers at the same time. And it's really interesting when we get to boss fights. Right now it's not that useful because we don't have that many powers right now. Yeah, this is a long stage.
I can feel the doubt in your voice as we cover these stages more and more. This game is dropping from a 7 to a 6.5.
Oh yeah, those things go down depending on how many characters you have. There are a few things, just like these box things that you just hold on to, and you get more rings depending on if you get more characters. There's also these things where you just jump into the portal and it'll send you to a different part of the stage, either above, below, or forward, left, whatever.
Oh, I gotta ask, how's the music in this one?
Sky Temple is alright.
This is all building towards a certain song that I will defend.
No.
the commentary dies in a few levels. Again, I said in part 1 though, I think that this game is great with the co-op. I really do. It's much more bearable, especially for sections like this.
This game really was designed with co-op in mind. I will say that this game does co-op pretty well. It's not the best. It's not the best, but I think it does it pretty well.
But how do you feel about that? Because I don't know, a Sonic game co-op is definitely there. It's been there, but the whole game being designed around it.
Yeah, the co-op, a whole game designed around it can be good, just as long as the single player is alright. And again, the co-op is great, but when you play it single player, the quality does kind of drop. And it's funny how we're saying this in only the third zone.
Yo, they really could have split this into 2 acts.
Yeah.
Here we go, another boss fight.
I didn't know this at the time, but you can actually skip most of the bosses. Like, there is a skip for Speed Jungle Act 2, there's a skip for this one. All we had to do was use Bullet and go straight up right. And just keep going up right until we get out of the arena and hit the capsule.
Where was this during the playthrough, huh?
I didn't know about that skip until later.
I actually like this boss. It's just, again, the invincibility frames and just you can only attack a set number of times. It takes away from it. Again. Like right there, I'm right on him.
It sucks, but that's how they designed the game.
I used that wrong.
Like, I feel like you should be able to hit him here, but you can't. You're just gonna have to wait for him to do his thing, and then you can start hitting him.
I do like the fighting poses that the characters have.
Yeah.
Right there, look at that. Look at that. Wow.
7 minutes on this.
You couldn't have sped up for this part?
That's okay, I have Avatar.
Look at the Avatar getting hit. I have Avatar.
It was an alright level, just the boss kind of brings it down. Look at those things in the background, I wonder what those are.
I don't know, I feel like we should use our medals or something to...
Nah.
Look at the chicken.
Mm.
Cook it, I'm hungry.
Oh, you took one of them.
Oh no.
Alright, next zone.
I have to read the comic to find out what